Good morning, good morning. What's up, YouTube family? So, I just wanted to get back on here because I have been slacking on the videos, and there's no excuse for that. And I don't care how busy I've been, this and that, is no excuse, and that's one thing we're going to try to do, not make no excuses. But the main thing I think I've been doing is taking too much time trying to figure out a video to do instead of just posting for y'all. So, I want to make that a new thing, that I make sure a video probably drop every day, stuff like this. Just coming on here to talk to y'all, and with the investments and where I'm at in my investment journey, because I'm always looking at the charts, looking to see what's going up, what's about to break out and stuff like that. And right now, I recently showed you all that the market was currently in fear. I ain't checked it since then, so it might have went down. It most likely probably came a little bit up to neutral because the S&P 500 is almost back to its all-time highs. And that just show you right there the opportunities that we miss, because like that just was down last week. You know what I'm saying? It ain't been a full month, and it done already recovered from probably like five something, and it recovered all the way back to like 690. And that's crazy. That's what I want y'all to know. The opportunities that's in this market, it's unmatched. It's really unmatched. And it's like, the sooner you become part of this game, the better you'll make out in life overall, if you're looking for the financials and the safety. But like, if you all looked at the other videos, this ain't all about the financials in the stock market and stuff like that, because I don't want y'all to be in debt and then jump into the stock market and then trying to figure out, okay, boom, boom, what I'm gonna do? Okay, the money in the market. Now I don't want to sell at this loss because I gotta pay my phone bill and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. That's why I showed y'all. You start with the emergency fund. Keep that $3,000, $2,000, whatever, put to the side. And I say it could be a high yield savings account, but no lie, the high yield savings is gonna make you something. But you could keep it in a regular account. But if it's going to be a lot, like your emergency fund is $10,000, it's best to keep that for sure. High yield savings, you're going to get a lot on it. But I ain't going to get all the options. Just go high yield savings. I'm still trying to figure out who exactly I'm going to open my high yield savings with, because right now my money just sitting in Capital One saving account. And of course, they're giving you some change here and there, but it's not no high yield. So I might just open up the 360, if y'all ever looked it up. 360 high yield savings account with Capital One. So I'm going to probably definitely open that one up, keep the money in there instead of keeping it in a regular savings account. But definitely, y'all, you gotta, the first thing, peace of mind. Put that money to the side, you ain't gotta worry about it. So if something come up, you ain't gotta go into your stock market money, pull out money, and then put into the your bills and stuff like that. You already got liquid money, you go grab anytime. Cause everything that so far that I put into the stock market, probably definitely over 5,000, I would say. It's like it been sitting there. Even when I didn't know much about stocks, I was putting it into it. S&P 500, putting into SWP. My bad, y'all. I'm recording on the phone. Somebody definitely called through, actually my wife called through. Had to talk and back to it. So I'm not even sure where we left off. I said I put that money in the market. The mistake I made definitely in the market is selling that SWPPX. I should have kept the money in there, let it compound. Man, I don't know why I sold it. I think I sold it because I was learning about options. And at that time, I guess I was being big-headed. Sold the money, tried to use the money for options. I made the money on options, but I wasn't consistent. And that's the main thing I want to tell y'all, definitely consistent. Because I was making the money a little bit, not over leveraging. I lost some. But every time I was making the money, I had a plan. Like say I make $100, $80. My goal was to take 50% of that. So you make 80, take 40%, put into SWPPX. So I started buying my way back into it. Or I was just putting into some kind of stocks, which most of it I think definitely was going into SCHD, the Charles Schwab dividend fund. So I was starting to put more and more into that. Cause like right now my portfolio is almost 20% of SCHD. And my SWPPX is only 9.8%. So it's going to be soon becoming 10%. But I think the goal is to get my SWPPX to where it's like, I'm going to say 50%. That's probably a good starter. Then maybe as I build up into other positions, probably could have 50% SWPPX, S&P 500. Probably could have 20% of dividend funds. And I think I could have that 30% of regular stocks. Or maybe I need the 20% of regular stocks and 30% of SCHD, some dividend funds. Because that dividends definitely create that cash flow. That's what I want to definitely put y'all on. It creates the cash flow. So I did more studies, and I don't know if y'all looked at the long video, but that was a live video that I did learning about dividends. And an interesting thing, a person on my Twitch YouTube channel that I normally hop on the stream, we'll talk about, he know a little about investing. He put me on this guy, I forgot the name, but he got a dividend strategy where he lives out the bank account. And I found that pretty interesting. The only thing that is uncomfortable, which he says that is mostly uncomfortable for people, is to like use margin call to live off of. So he deposited the full check into the brokerage account. He invested, but I believe he keep a little purchasing power that he uses margin call to borrow against. And that's the money that he used to pay bills. Like, so I'm gonna definitely start looking into that strategy or trying that strategy. Even if it's just paying one of my cheapest bills, for example, phone bill or something like that, a subscription pay, like living out that. But one thing he got is a credit card. No, not a credit card, but he got a card with E-Trade that he, I guess, used to pay out the account. I don't know if Charles Schwab has something like that. But it's something to definitely look into, y'all. Start paying one bill with your dividend funds and constantly reinvesting it. Reinvesting, that way your money always working versus, that's another thing he said, versus spending the money on bills, this and that. And then we trying to invest what we got left. You know what I'm saying? That is a different way of looking at it, because once you invest in everything, you're paying what you only have to, versus I think that'll keep you from spending unnecessary money, knowing it's in that brokerage account, knowing you on margin. So you're going to try to keep the minimum payments and not like, I guess you treat it like a credit card, you know? And as you be able to afford more bills and more bills as your account goes up, then you can actually start living off it. So the goal is to continue to do that, starting small, and build up to where eventually those dividend funds will pay for your lifestyle. Like if you're spending $40,000 a month, eventually your account will get to what it's paying for your lifestyle, paying for all your expenses, but that money is still invested. The good thing about the money being still invested is it's constantly can grow and compound to more and more money. But that was definitely, what do you call it? The FIRE strategy or something like that. I forgot the guy on YouTube, but the FIRE strategy. But definitely, y'all. So that's why I definitely don't want just stocks, just SWPPX, stuff like that. You want to do multiple things, but the safest route, SWPPX or VOO, is the Charles Schwab. Well, VOO is the Vanguard SP 500. SWPPX is the Charles Schwab S&P 500 that tracks that index. So definitely start there, y'all. But you want to have that saved up. So don't be real eager to get into it. Now, for example, say you have that interest. Well, no, if you got a credit card, we talked about that. We paying off high interest credit cards for sure. But say you don't have your emergency fund all the way built up. Most of that money gonna go towards the emergency fund. You could take $5, $10 to start investing slowly. But we're really trying to create that cushion for our emergency fund so we don't have to go back in once we start putting $50 to $100 a week or a month into the stock market. We don't have to want to go back and take that money out. So it's all about playing the game smart. If you ain't got to touch that money, the goal is for it to keep on growing. So if y'all have any questions, y'all let me know. But like I said, this is my journey. And right now, I think the account is definitely up to 8,100. 81, 82, but I invested probably 5,000, but it's constantly growing up. And that's the thing about it. You want your money to make money, and over time, I say the money made money. For example, TSM, I think I only put 400, maybe 600 into TSM. I believe it's on up almost $1,000. So that's an extra 400 or 500 on top of what I put into it. NVIDIA, when I was doing pictures, because I also do pictures and videography, stuff like that. So I did some weddings. And a lot of that money was going straight towards NVIDIA. So I think I only had 1,000, 1,100 in there. But I believe NVIDIA is made it up to way $2,400, $2,500. So that's an extra $1,500 probably on top of the initial $1,000 investment. And that's why it's so exciting, because think about it, once you get to putting 10,000 into something like that, or 20,000 into, like, you know what I'm saying? If my 1,000 could have turned into doubled itself and turned to 2,500, imagine if I had 10,000 to put in there at the same exact time. That 10,000 could have been 25,000. You know what I'm saying? 30,000. So I just want to make this journey exciting, make it a fun game, because that's all it really is. Investing, it's a game, knowing your financials. And once you make it like a game, it becomes fun. And that's why it gets exciting sometimes. Like I just was looking at Microsoft. Microsoft had dipped down all the way to 350, I believe. I don't know if that was the bottom, but it dipped down 350. All-time high is like 500. But for those that caught it at that bottom, it's all the way back to $412. Probably more than that this morning. But that's just letting y'all know, like, this is a game. Look at it for what it is. Enjoy the time. But the safest way, just know this. Buying a stock is different from the option trading I was talking about, because option trading, you got a time limit. So if I bought Microsoft and say I'm gonna hold it for a year, it have to be at 400, 450 within that year, and I could just sell and take all my profits at the year. And like I said, I'll still do the rinse and repeat. Take 50% what I make, put it towards the stocks. That way, the money that you're making from trading, some of that money will never be seen by option trading again, because you're putting into long-term investments. So the purpose of the trading, because it could 3 times the wealth, 3 times your income and stuff like that, but you're taking half of that and put it towards long-term, because you're not trying to blow your account. When you build up the tolerance, I believe you won't blow your account, because if you stay at the 10%, 20%, and you know not to go past that, that's the most I'm gonna lose, you're gonna just cut the trade. But it's a psychological thing, a mental thing, that you just don't want to press that button. You know you should press that button, but you don't want to press that button because you're like, I don't want to take this loss. And then over time, as it go lower and lower and lower, you definitely ain't trying to press that button. And that's how you wind up blowing your whole account, because you don't want to risk losing the 600 when you could have only just lost $60. But y'all, stay tuned, stay posted. I ain't gonna talk too much, but I definitely want to start coming to y'all, talking about this stuff every day, so we keep this fresh on our mind. And, you know, peace out. As y'all see, we in the shop. We about to have somebody coming at 8 o'clock, so I started recording this at like 7:40, 7:30 in the morning. But I ain't been having time to post, so we about to be posting regardless of the fact. Well, no matter what time this come out, it's gonna come out sometime today. I'm gonna put it together. Boom, since I had to stop in between and stuff like that. But y'all, and the thing is, one more thing, business owner, taxes. Pay them taxes, quarterly tax, put it up, put it up, put it up. So you ain't gotta worry about it, okay? And I do be getting the ideas of using like the tax money to put into long term or something like that, trade and stuff like that. But something telling me, no, don't worry about it, don't mess with that money. And we're gonna keep it like that. Let's just keep it like that and not use that. Just like emergency fund, we could probably look at our taxes like an emergency fund. Don't use that money, but it's only for taxes. We're gonna talk about that more, y'all. Peace out. It's your boy Jay in the building. We out, and we about to be coming back with some more and more and more. Not sure if this video gonna have a thumbnail. Like I said, we're gonna be posting. I ain't always at home to make that thumbnail. So y'all, we out, and y'all have a great day. Stay on that investment journey. Save up for that emergency fund, hide your savings. Make sure your foundation is laid, baby. And y'all gonna be good, and then y'all can start putting into the market, so y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. Peace out, your boy Jay, and we out of here. Oh, I'm right on my hands, but